télé a toujours été très je voulais prendre le sujet. C'est le sujet
Tamo se vidi zapravo sve, jel? Okay. Good morning. So, first we will have an exchange with the Secretary General of Council of Europe. I will express Croatia's full support to Kosovo's bid for membership in the Council of Europe. Second, we will continue our discussion of Russian aggression against Ukraine. Croatia provides significant assistance to Ukraine. Our Prime Minister and several ministers have recently visited Kiev, Ukraine, showing our solidarity and further support. We are also continuing our assistance on rehabilitation and demining. I'm glad we will have an exchange with Georgian Foreign Minister Ilya Darkashvili, which I supported, and as well as Georgia's EU path. We commend and support also EU efforts to contribute to Georgia's security and resilience. We will also discuss later on our action plan on global implications, consequences of the Russian aggression in the Ukraine. I will mention that it is important to focus on the global south, but also our close neighborhood, namely Western Balkans region. We will also discuss the situation in Sudan. We are very, very concerned about the developments there. We welcome the swift, quick reaction and good coordination of the evacuation of our citizens. Thank you very much.
It takes a bit of space.
The comment the Chinese ambassador to France made about
It is totally unacceptable. We are denouncing such a statement, and I hope that the bosses of this ambassador will make things straight.
Does this comment surprising from a Chinese official?
It is surprising statement from an official of any state who should understand how the international relations are built. So I expect that it will be straight out.
You're discussing nuclear energy, sanctions on nuclear energy. When are you going to start with?
The comment the Chinese ambassador to France made about
It is totally unacceptable. We are denouncing such a statement, and I hope that the bosses of this ambassador will make things straight.
Does this comment surprising from a Chinese official?
It is surprising statement from an official of any state who should understand how the international relations are built. So I expect that it will be straight out.
You're discussing nuclear energy, sanctions on nuclear energy. When are you going to start with?
I won't be commenting anything on sanctions.
Georgia
Yeah.
is a part of your schedule today.
Yes.
Let me share my expectations. Yours.
So Georgia has a lot of homeworks to do. So I hope that we will be able to discuss it. And I wish for Georgia the European path. And I wish for the whole society to be able to participate on it. So that will be the main message which I will today have for the Ministry of Affairs of Georgia. And one more question, yeah?
And for the minister from Ukraine who will be joining virtually,
Yes.
frustrated about wrangling over deliveries of ammunition. What's your message to Kyiv?
I don't know what will be the mood of Dmytro. I hope that the mood will be more positive. But we need to do what we need to do for Ukraine to be able to defend itself from Russian imperialistic onslaught. And Ukraine's security is also European security. So my country and the EU also is doing its part in it. So this will be continuation of a long discussion about European security. So thank you very much. Thank you. Bye.
Where do you want me to be? Here, in the center. Good. Look, it has been a long weekend, a long and intense weekend trying to take our people out of Sudan. It has been a complex operation and it has been a successful operation. First, the staff of the European Union, 21 people are already in Europe, and many more European Union citizens and others are already out of Sudan. I cannot give you the concrete figure, more than 1,000 people for sure. I want to thank France especially for taking our people out, and I want to thank the combined efforts of many countries that took their nationals, but also all nationals that they could pick. So it has been a successful operation, but complex. I was in touch with the two generals fighting in Sudan. And now the ceasefire is stopped, it's over. We have to continue pushing for a political settlement. We cannot afford that Sudan, which is a very populated country, implodes, because it will be sending shockwaves around the whole Africa. So from the point of view of Sudan, I think it's a... Can you let me talk? Can you let me talk? Huh? Thank you.
Today it is about Georgia. Like Georgia is waiting also the status of candidate.
We are going to talk about Georgia also. We will have a meeting, we will discuss, we will talk about the adhesion perspective, the security situation. For us, Georgia is a very important country, and remember that it has a specific security issues because its territory is partially occupied by Russia. So this is one day, an important day to discuss about Georgia. Also about Moldova, which is more or less in the same situation. Countries who are in the border see the war very close and they feel the threat. Talking about feeling the threats, also, this is statement by the Chinese ambassador about the sovereignty and the existence of the countries who were part of the Soviet Union. This is something that we will discuss in the framework of the China issue. The Council will start discussing about China in order to prepare the European Union in June, maybe, that will reassess and recalibrate our strategy towards China. We will approve the deployment of a mission in Moldova that will be opened officially during the next conference on the European political neighborhood. And as you see, there is a long and complex council, as always. But first we will assess the situation in Sudan, and then we will start assessing how do we deal with China? How do we recalibrate our strategy with China? We have been talking a lot about China in the last days, but we will have to continue discussing about China because it's one of the most important issues of our foreign policy. And now I'm ready to answer the questions.
Ukraine Minister Kuleba has expressed frustration about the hold-ups to agreeing track 2 of the ammunition plan. He has asked you to help persuade the member states to reach an agreement. Will you do that, and do you expect an agreement in the coming days? How long will it take?
Exactly. I've been talking with Kuleba. I've been explaining. There are 2 tracks. The first track is on the way. We have received requests for reimbursement for 600 million euros. I cannot tell you exactly the ammunition who are behind these 600 million euros, in which situation they are. But I've been asked to pay 600 million for that. And on the second track, yes, there is some disagreement, but I'm sure everybody will understand that we are in a situation of extreme urgency. I'm sure that in the following days we will reach, but while we look for this legal agreement, don't believe that we are just sitting and waiting. The whole work is going on. The whole work is going on. So once the legal agreement will be reached, the practical work will be finished. So it's not first one thing and then the other thing. It's overlapping.
High Representative on Sudan.
Yes.
When diplomats are withdrawn, this is an indication that things are very bad on the ground. Do you think that Sudan is on the brink of a civil war? And you are in close contact with your counterpart, with Egypt and Saudi Arabia, Ethiopia. How the international community can help the Sudanese not to go into this very bad...
The international community altogether are putting the whole pressure on both sides in order to stop this war. Yes, I've been talking with all the neighbors, all friends, even with the 2 generals in commanding the forces. And the international community message is the same. You have to stop the war, silence the guns, and start talking and looking for a political solution, because there is not a military solution to this war. And that's what we are doing. And we take our people out because, well, I don't have to explain you what's happening there. You see, you watch the TV. So our people have to be out because it is the middle of the war. Some of them were wounded. It's impossible to continue working as a diplomat. So the best thing to do with them is to take them out.
But your ambassador stayed there.
Yes, and, yes. He had to stay there. The captain is the last one on leaving the ship.
Who's securing him?
Sorry?
Who's securing the EU ambassador over there?
He is no longer in Khartoum. He's in Sudan, but no longer in Khartoum.
On the comments of the Chinese ambassador on French television, you said that will be discussed. But what kind of response can we expect?
Well, I cannot tell you in advance which will be the result of the discussion. But it will be, for sure, a strong position in order to clarify which is the official thinking of the Chinese government about the sovereignty and independency of some of the member states.
And have you been in touch with the Chinese authorities?
Please, last one.
On sanctions, some member states are demanding also nuclear energy to be included in sanctions. What is your position? Will EU
Today we are not in a position to finish the new package of sanctions on Russia. We'll continue discussing. Sorry, I had to go to the breakfast. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Today, I'm really hopeful that we will talk and debate and find a solution when it comes to the fast agreement on the ammunition for Ukraine. It's not just a political commitment that already has been adopted last council, but it's also a message to Ukraine that we will continuously support militarily Ukraine. That it's not just about the current counteroffensive, that is a continuous support. So indeed it's a very strong, a very important message, and I'm really looking forward to finding a solution and agreement today.
A word on the comments made by the Chinese ambassador to France.
So just 1 second.
A word on the comments made by the Chinese ambassador to France. What do you think?
Well, first of all, it's completely unacceptable. And later today, 3 Baltic states will be summoning representatives, in our case the Charge d'Affaires, in other capitals is the ambassador, to ask for clarification. Has Chinese position changed on the independence? And to remind him that we are not post-Soviet countries, we were the countries that were illegally occupied by Soviet Union.
And could you share us your expectations about Georgia? We are waiting for an important partnership during this year.
The ball is in Georgia's court. The ball is in Georgia's court. And so far, the game was not happening.
And Minister, Georgia, do you have any conversation, any meetings with the foreign minister of Georgia? And what about Georgian and Georgian people are waiting candidate status? What is your expectations about this meeting, about this outcome?
Well, Georgian minister will have a chance to present the reforms. I believe that there will be a lot of questions posed to him. Till now, we have not seen, what would drive the optimism forward. But as always, we remain committed, especially in Lithuania, especially the Baltic states. We remain committed to Georgian path towards transatlantic unions. But as I said before, the ball is in Georgian court. They have to play it.
Minister, on the ammunition, do you have any idea how a solution might look? You've obviously got some countries who want to insist very strongly on buy European. There are others who are stressing the urgency.
But we already had this debate. We already had this debate before last FAC, and it was divided that having fast deliveries is more important at this point. I understand those who want to see European military industry flourishing. Indeed, we need that. But if we delay, currently, Ukrainians might not push as far and as successfully as they could with our assistance. Therefore, speed is the main factor that we should be looking for now.
Minister, on the Chinese ambassador's comments,
yes.
So you said there's going to be a summoning of representatives.
Yes.
But here, from the EU side, what kind of EU response would you like to see?
Well, we've asked our partners to support us any way they can. Meaning that there could be other capital summoning ambassadors voicing out that they do not accept the statements or asking for clarifications. And we've seen that. I'm grateful for for the countries that already did that, like Czech Republic and others. We, as always, we're asking for solidarity in this case because this is a new phenomenon. We have not seen this happening before. Actually, what reminds us of is what we've seen happening when Moscow propaganda is talking about Ukraine. They question the sovereignty of the countries. They question the borders. They question the territorial integrity of the countries. This is the narrative that we've been hearing from Moscow. And now it's being sent out by another country, which is, in our eyes, an ally of Moscow in many cases, if not militarily, then politically at least, and sending the same messages, questioning of the whole concept of independence or sovereignty, which is very dangerous in these days.
And what does it make you think then about China's peace plan for Ukraine?
Look, we've been always saying that we do not trust China as a mediator, as a possible mediator. It definitely has chosen a side. It's sided with Russia politically. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Estonia has formed the government last week, and this is my first time here as a foreign minister. So our policy will remain the same. The most important is to support Ukraine up to the win, the victorious situation. What we are standing for as well is that we must continue to support Ukraine with this 1 million rounds of ammunition. I'm not satisfied about this bureaucratic situation what we have now, but I assure as well that for Estonian government last week was the first decision to do our part of that. So I'm sure that European Union can deliver this 1 million rounds of ammunition within this 1 year, what we have agreed, because Ukraine desperately needs that. The second topic is, of course, the sanctions. We push forward the 11th package of sanctions. This is very crucial that we should put Karamurza connected people as well to the sanctions. So this has been the Estonian proposal to the sanction package. And also the cap of the oil price. The European Union has agreed the scheme how to follow the oil price, and I hope that we'll do in real life. And of course, we have to bring under the justice these criminals who has really changed this international public law situation. I mean the tribunal, international tribunal. It must be created to bring the Troika under the justice. And of course, I'm looking forward to meet our friends from Georgia. It is very important to say that Georgia is with us. We have, of course, some statements with that. And also, of course, what is important that Ukraine and Moldova will continue to be a member of European Union as well. This is one topic. They have the scheme how to follow it, and we hope that everything will go okay. So, thank you very much for that. Hope to see my fellows now, first time this is meeting.
What would you have to say on the comments made by the Chinese ambassador to France?
Today I've asked the Chinese representative out for a meeting, and we asked why China has such a position or comments about the Baltic states. This is clear that the Baltic states and Estonia, we are an independent sovereign country, we're a member of the European Union, NATO, but I hope that there will be explanation. We are not satisfied with that announcement what the High Representative made.
So what about the future of this former 17+1 format?
Estonia has left this, and this has been our clear position.
So reinforces that position?
The situation is very tense, but we have outspoken our position about that.
What about Georgia? Because today the foreign minister of affairs of Georgia is also today here. Georgia also is waiting for status of candidate. What's your discussions about the status?
Yeah.
What can you tell us about this?
Estonia has supported Georgia years. We are the good friends, but Georgia must be very clear about democracy, about the juridical situation and the justice, and these are the questions we're going to ask. What is the process? because we support Georgia 100%, and we have done it. But there are some moves that the Georgian government must do, because we have many questions about the democratic situation there. So, okay, thank you very much. See you.
Hello, good morning. Goedemorgen. Er staan een aantal belangrijke punten op de agenda vandaag. Oekraïne, Midden-Oosten, op vraag van België en ook Sudan, waar de veiligheid van de Soedanese bevolking en de Belgen ter plaatse is bedreigd wordt. Donc nous allons évidemment évoquer la situation au Soudan où les actuels combats entraîne une situation humanitaire très grave pour l'ensemble de la région. Je pense évidemment à la situation à Khartoum, mais pas seulement, aussi au Darfour, une région où la population est en souffrance depuis plus de 20 ans. Il est urgent d'obtenir un cessez-le-feu et que les armes se taisent enfin, que le pouvoir revienne aussi à la société civile. J'en profiterai aussi pour remercier en fait la bonne collaboration qui s'est produite durant tout ce week-end avec les pays européens leaders sur place. Je saisirai d'ailleurs cette occasion pour remercier en particulier la France avec qui j'étais en contact tout ce week-end, ma collègue Catherine Colonna, pour la bonne collaboration. À l'heure actuelle, nous avons encore une trentaine de Belges sur place. Un nombre important d'entre eux n'ont pas émis le désir de partir et nous avons pu évacuer pour l'instant 8 Belges et leurs ayants droit, dont le directeur d'ECHO qui était blessé. Et donc pour l'instant, je tiens aussi à remercier Djibouti, la Jordanie, l'Allemagne et les Pays-Bas. Les Belges qui sont encore sur place sont gérés à l'heure actuelle par le Caire, dont je salue aussi notre ambassade au Caire, dont je salue aussi le travail. Nous restons bien sûr en contact avec eux. D'autres opérations d'évacuation pourraient avoir lieu, mais ce n'est pas encore acquis. Tout dépend de la situation sécuritaire sur place. Ensuite, nous parlerons éventuellement, bien sûr, de l'Ukraine. Nous ferons le point sur la situation et sur les besoins sur place avec notre homologue Dmytro Kuleba. Et puis, nous évoquerons aussi la situation en Tunisie. Vous le savez, la Belgique, avec le Portugal, a reçu la mission de se rendre sur place. Nous attendions qu'une date puisse être définie ensemble. Elle a pu être trouvée. Nous nous rendrons en Tunisie du 9 au 11 mai avec un message au nom des 27 qui sera très clair. Notre message sera positif, constructif et clair, aligné sur nos valeurs. Je vous remercie.
I think today we have two topics. First, about the Ukraine. I think it's we have to speed up the joint procurement of ammunition and do it with those needs that Ukraine has. I think we should now overcome all the bureaucratic things in Brussels on this issue. And of course, we are waiting very much the possible spring offensive in Ukraine, and Ukraine needs all our support in these circumstances. Then the other important topic today is Sudan. I've been in constant contact also with different Sudanese players. Of course, it's important that we get our citizens out. Finland has evacuated last night now most of our citizens with help from France, Germany and Sweden. We had excellent EU cooperation on evacuations. But I think Europe also has to play a more political role in solving the situation in Sudan. We have to talk to the parties, we have to convince parties to the ceasefire. And if this is not happening, Sudan can spread the conflict to the neighboring countries, but also cause a big migration wave in these circumstances. We shouldn't only think our own citizens, but we should think ordinary citizens in Khartoum who need help at the moment. And I think European Union could do more. We should also coordinate our action with the UN and UN humanitarian sector. So it's not fair that all foreigners are leaving the country in these circumstances. If we leave, we also leave some space for Wagner troops and Russia to play this game, and I think Europe has to activate its role in Sudan.
About Georgia then, what about Tbilisi, Georgia, because the today's very important meeting. Georgia is also waiting status of candidate. What's your expectations about this process? What are you waiting from Georgia? A few words about this.
Well, I think Georgia has, of course, to follow what it has promised to stabilize its internal situation. And I have been talking to Georgian politicians, and just things what we are waiting is that they follow the EU guidelines and also support the foreign policy of European Union.
Minister, on Sudan, you said the EU could be doing more. What should it be doing?
Well, at this moment, I think it's very important that we should engage with different players, not only with Mr. Burhan and Mr. Hemeti, but also the civil society that has been part of the peace treaty, the Juba Agreement and so forth. And Juba Agreement also has other components, the rebel groups in Darfur and other rebel groups who joined the Juba Agreement. And we should not let now this break these structures that we have been creating in Sudan. And we should also link even more closely with the neighboring countries, I'm meaning Chad, Kenya, Ethiopia, others who can play a constructive role in finding a peaceful solution.
Minister, some countries are demanding also nuclear energy to be included in sanctions against Russia. Now, your country is dependent still on Russian material. What is your position on that?
Well, I think those countries that are depending on Russian fuel, hopefully, like Finland, are making plans to quit from the Russian fuel and turn to the Western producers. This is at least what we are doing. It needs a certain transition period to order material from other sources, but after this transition period, I think we can quit the Russian materials.
And Minister, there will be a discussion today also on China that comes in the wake of a diplomatic spat over comments from the Chinese ambassador to France. Do you have a message to Beijing and to your Baltic colleagues, for example, that are here complaining about those comments?
Well, I think it's very important that we have a common line on China, and we have had now the high-level visits by different head of the states and foreign ministers to China. But I think it's very important that we coordinate our message towards China closely among the European Union countries. Of course, we have our commercial links, each and every one, to China, but at the same time, it's very important that we get more independence on critical materials and so forth from China. I think that should be a common European line.
And specifically on those comments on ex-Soviet states from the Chinese ambassador to France, do you have a response to those?
Well, I think Mr. Borrell has been reacting to those, and I fully share his views. Thank you. Thank you.
Ruotsalaisen sanomalehti. Kan vi ta en fråga på svenska?
Ja, vi kan försöka.
Ja, det börjar med om Sudan. Hur ser det ut med finska medborgare? Har ni evakuerat? Är det många kvar?
No, vi har bra nyheter från evakuering i Sudan. Alltså tiotal finländare är nu ute. Det var söndag och nu i natten att vi har fått största delen av finländare. Vi har tillsammans något sånt som 15. Och vi är mycket tacksamma till Sverige, Frankrike, Tyskland som vi har arbetat mycket tätt om de här frågorna. Samtidigt som jag sa det är mycket viktigt att EU också har en politisk roll i Sudan. Vi borde medla mellan olika partier med Hemeti, med Burhan och också med civila i Sudan, och vi borde stödja en sån lösning till situationen att vanliga människor också har säkerhet i Khartoum.
Du nämnde Sverige där. Vad har mer specifikt konkret, vad har Sverige bidragit med?
No, samarbete med Sverige har varit mycket bra med evakuering. Vi har hela tiden bytt information om situationen, men förstås att Sverige har haft ambassad i Khartoum och så vidare var mycket nyttigt också för Finland. Vi har inte ambassad där. Tack. No niin.
Già, hai visto?
Andy, what about China? You're discussing China today, and the ambassador of China to France has made some quite remarkable remarks. What is your position on that?
But China is an interlocutor, but we need to respect our position. We need to respect the European Union. We need to respect every member state. We respect China. I think it's important to respect us. This is crucial. We will talk on this. We will underline the importance of the good relations. China, in this moment, is a key country because we need an engagement in favor of peace to push Russia for leaving Ukraine. But I disagree with the speech of the China ambassador to France.
And on Ukraine, the Ukraine's foreign minister will be expressing frustration, most likely, over delays to delivering ammunition, legal wrangling here.
No, we are working hard in defense of Ukraine. The 26th in Rome, the Italian government will organize a big event on the reconstructions with more or less 1,000 companies, Italians and Ukrainians, for paving the way for a better future for this country, for the reconstruction. Ukraine will be part of the European Union, will be part of our internal market. For this, it's important to have an Italian presence in this country.
Today, Council also discussing about
Sorry?
Georgia. Today, Council also discussing about Georgia.
I met the Minister from Foreign Affairs 2 days ago in Rome. Georgia is important for the stability. We are in favor for membership of Georgia as part of the European Union. For this, with the candidacy for us is okay.
And Minister, on Tunisia, that will also be discussed today. Do you have a comment on that?
We are working hard in this direction. Tunisia is a key country for the stability in the Mediterranean Sea, North Africa. Italy is pushing in favor of a good solution by International Monetary Fund. Also by the European Union is possible to invest more. Of course, we need to do reforms in Tunisia. Our position is very clear. In French, is à fur et à mesure qu'on fait des réformes, on donne de l'argent. C'est-à-dire il faut commencer avec le financement, après il faut attendre les réformes, et après aller de l'avant avec les financements.
Et sur le Soudan?
Le Soudan, situation vraiment compliquée. Et cette nuit, tous les Italiens sont arrivés à Djibouti grâce à la coopération du ministère des Affaires étrangères, du ministère de la Défense, de tous les Italiens qui travaillent là-bas. À notre ambassade, on a aidé aussi les citoyens de différents pays de l'Union européenne, aussi des Africains. Donc maintenant ils sont à Djibouti et aujourd'hui les Italiens seront à Rome, je pense vers 7h, 8h. Donc la situation est compliquée. Moi, je parlais avec les deux chefs qui sont en train de se battre. Donc j'espère qu'on peut essayer de saisir un accord. Situation vraiment compliquée, mais heureusement tous les Italiens sont en train de rentrer en Italie. Donc il y a quelques Italiens qui ont décidé de rester là-bas, mais c'est une décision des médecins, je pense, d'emergency qui ont décidé de rester là-bas. La situation est très très compliquée. Espérons. Moi j'ai poussé dans les coups de fil que j'ai eu avec les deux. J'ai poussé pour essayer de trouver un accord et voir qu'est-ce qu'on peut faire dans un pays qui est un des plus grands pays de l'Afrique. Donc il faut calmer les eaux, mais c'est pas facile. Situation dangereuse. Merci. Au revoir. Bye bye. See you. Bon travail. C'è la doppia tassa. Voi c'avete freddo, stavate al caldo.
Tutto bene,
Buongiorno.
sta più al caldo.
Allora, cominciamo dal Sudan, così vi do le informazioni. Tutti gli italiani che volevano lasciare il paese sono ora a Gibuti, rientreranno a Roma con un volo dell'aeronautica militare verso le 18, le 19 all'aeroporto di Ciampino. Stanno tutti bene, l'Italia ha aiutato anche cittadini di altri paesi a lasciare il Sudan. Io voglio ringraziare l'unità di crisi della Farnesina, tutti i militari che hanno partecipato all'operazione di evacuazione, naturalmente anche la nostra intelligence. Grazie a una cooperazione tra tutte queste branche dello Stato è stato possibile salvare tutti i nostri cittadini. 19 erano già riusciti ad arrivare in Egitto l'altro ieri, grazie anche all'azione della nostra ambasciata a Khartoum e la nostra ambasciata al Cairo. Erano non persone che vivevano a Khartoum, erano persone che facevano parte di un gruppo di sub che avevano organizzato una crociera per fare attività subacquee e siamo riusciti a farli arrivare in Egitto. Quindi tutti coloro che volevano partire sono stati trasferiti a Gibuti e sono rimasti alcuni volontari di emergency, credo qualche missionario che non ha voluto lasciare il paese, quindi è una loro libera scelta. Io ho continuato a parlare, anche a restare in contatto con i due leader delle fazioni che si stanno combattendo, hanno entrambi garantito l'incolumità dei convogli degli italiani, così è stato, e hanno rispettato l'impegno che avevano preso con me, quindi li ho anche ringraziati perché hanno permesso al nostro convoglio di arrivare con tutti sani e salvi all'aeroporto, e questo è un fatto molto positivo. Salvare le vite umane è una nostra priorità, anche tutti i nostri militari sono rientrati a Gibuti, quindi le cose sono andate per il verso giusto. È stata un'operazione difficile e complicata, rischiosa, ma fortunatamente è andato tutto per il verso giusto, e quindi non possiamo che gioire perché gli italiani sono incolume, sono salvi. Veramente grazie a tutti coloro che sono stati protagonisti di questa difficile operazione di evacuazione.
Presidente, gli altri temi all'ordine del giorno oggi, ovviamente c'è il sostegno all'Ucraina, ma c'è anche la Tunisia.
L'Ucraina è una priorità. Il giorno 26 a Roma ci sarà una grande riunione con oltre 1000 imprese per parlare della ricostruzione di quel paese, che sarà parte dell'Unione Europea, sarà parte del mercato interno. L'Italia vuole essere protagonista con le sue imprese, quindi avremo veramente un confronto, ci saranno le autorità ucraine, quindi sarà un modo anche di dimostrare solidarietà non soltanto dal punto di vista militare, ma anche solidarietà da parte del nostro paese nei confronti di un popolo che è in guerra e sta difendendo la propria libertà. Oggi ne parleremo, la solidarietà italiana non è mancata, non manca e non mancherà. Per quanto riguarda la Tunisia, la situazione purtroppo è complicata. Noi insistiamo sulla nostra posizione, bisogna cominciare a erogare gli aiuti e contemporaneamente spingere affinché in quel paese si facciano le giuste riforme. Quindi cominciare col finanziamento, aspettare le riforme, poi continuare con i finanziamenti. Comunque l'Italia, che ha deciso già di investire circa 100 milioni, ha già il 50 saranno per le piccole e medie imprese, altri 50 saranno per il bilancio, poi per acquistare anche prodotti italiani, sono in fase di erogazione da parte delle nostre autorità.
Ovviamente non possiamo non chiederle anche delle indicazioni da parte dell'alto rappresentante Borrell di Luigi Di Maio per il Golfo. Può parlare a nome del governo al di là delle posizioni dei singoli partiti?
È una libera scelta dell'alto rappresentante, è una candidatura che è stata fatta da Di Maio quando era ministro degli esteri del precedente governo, non è il candidato del governo.
Hai detto Di Maio, invece l'ha fatta Draghi.
No, la candidatura di Di Maio è individuale, non c'è una candidatura del governo.
No, posso chiedere, però scusami, ho sbagliato io. E la posizione, può parlare a nome del governo per quanto riguarda l'indicazione di Maio come per il Golfo?
La scelta è una scelta legittima e libera dell'alto rappresentante Josep Borrell, non è una scelta del governo italiano, non è un'indicazione del governo italiano. Di Maio ha presentato la sua candidatura quando era ancora ministro degli esteri e, ripeto, nulla a che vedere con questo governo, quindi sono scelte che non ci riguardano. Ho detto tutto. Buongiorno a tutti, grazie, buon lavoro.
Ja, also das Gute dabei ist, dass Peking China zurückrudert. Ich habe eben noch mit Peking gesprochen, mit unserer Botschaft. Sie wissen, dass schon gestern Sie geantwortet haben, dass Sie als Chinesen die Ersten waren, die anerkannt haben, dass alle Republiken der Sowjetunion sollen souveräne Staaten werden. Das Zweite ist, man muss natürlich das auch schriftlich sehen. Es soll jetzt in ein paar Stunden eine schriftliche Erklärung kommen. Aber dass überhaupt so etwas gesagt wird, das ist schon außergewöhnlich. Und ich kann die Angst verstehen von den Menschen in den baltischen Ländern. Das muss also weg. Das muss wirklich weg. Und was auch die Ukraine angeht, die Krim angeht, hier ist auch klar, China hat sich 1991, als die Ukraine den Namen geändert hat in der UNO, das war Sowjetische Republik Ukraine, wurde Ukraine, hat China sich nicht dagegen ausgesprochen. Und soviel ich weiß, hat auch China nicht anerkannt, dass die Krim russisch ist. Also ich glaube, man kann China keinen Rat geben, aber ich glaube, es wäre gut, wenn dieses Status quo auch bleiben würde. Denn sonst wird ja nun aber das ganz europäische internationale Recht auf den Kopf gestellt.
Ja, also ein anderes Thema ist ja die Munition für die Ukraine.
Ja.
Vor 4 Wochen bereits die Einigung, aber es gibt irgendwie weiterhin keine Einigung auf die Umsetzung. Ist das nicht extrem peinlich für Europa?
Also Sie haben nicht ganz recht. 1 Milliarde ist ja verarbeitet. Sie wissen das. Für 1 Milliarde haben wir ein Einverständnis und die Länder, die Munition dann liefern, bekommen zwischen 50% und 60% von dieser Milliarde bekommen sie zurück. An dem anderen müssen wir noch ein wenig arbeiten. Und das wird aber diese Woche geschehen im Coreper und ich bin auch überzeugt, dass, was ich höre, dass man da ein Einverständnis findet. Aber wir, en français, okay. Sur la Chine. Sur la Chine. Bon, écoutez, sur la Chine. D'abord, la bonne nouvelle, c'est qu'à Pékin, on semble donc reconnaître cette gaffe de l'ambassadeur à Paris, et donc on cherche à apaiser. Donc, d'abord, les Chinois ont dit, nous, on a été les premiers à reconnaître les anciennes républiques donc de l'Union soviétique comme État souverain. Une chose. Deuxième chose, si j'ai bien compris de Pékin ce matin, il y aura une déclaration écrite. J'espère que cette déclaration écrite sera vraiment précise et sans équivoque. Donc, il faut que la Chine nous dise que cette position de ce monsieur l'ambassadeur à Paris, n'est pas la position officielle de la Chine. Parce que si tel était le cas, tout l'ordre international serait donc vraiment à plat. Surtout sur l'Ukraine. L'Ukraine était un pays fondateur des Nations Unies. Et en 91, l'Ukraine a uniquement changé son nom. C'était la République soviétique d'Ukraine. Alors, elle a laissé tomber le début, elle a dit nous sommes l'Ukraine et aucune opposition de la Chine. Deuxièmement, je n'ai pas vu que la Chine accepte donc la position de la Russie que la Crimée soit russe. Jusqu'à présent, ça n'a pas été le cas. Donc je pense qu'il faut vraiment revenir à des propos plus sérieux. Il y a assez de, comment dirais-je, assez de choses à régler dans le monde. Hein. Il ne faut pas en ajouter tous les jours.
Ganz kurz noch, wie zufrieden sind Sie mit der Zusammenarbeit, was die Evakuierung in Sudan betrifft, auch für kleine Länder wie Luxemburg, wie Österreich? Wie läuft das da zusammen?
Also das Erste im Großen. Wir sehen hier etwas, was wir ja schon gesehen haben vor einigen Jahren im Südsudan, wo auch der Präsident und der Vizepräsident gegeneinander gekämpft haben und es waren 400.000 Tote. Jetzt sehen wir leider dasselbe auch, wo zwei Militärs eigentlich viel Unheil produzieren. Luxemburg hat keinen Menschen in Sudan, das haben wir festgestellt, aber ich fühle mich mit allen europäischen Ländern natürlich solidarisch und ich hoffe, dass die Zusammenarbeit so funktioniert, dass jeder Mensch, der im Iran jetzt ist, aus der Europäischen Union, dass er auch kann evakuiert werden. Denken wir aber auch an die Menschen, die nicht evakuiert werden können und die im Sudan leben. Das ist eine große Katastrophe. Wir müssen als internationale Gemeinschaft alles machen, dass es da nicht wieder so geht wie im Südsudan, wo eigentlich kein Mensch hingeschaut hat. Wir haben nur manchmal hingeschaut in den Südsudan, wenn Menschen in UNO-Gebäuden, wenn die dort ihr Leben verloren haben. Okay, danke.
Gracias. speaking Greek. Στο Συμβούλιο Υπουργών σήμερα θα ζητήσω αναλυτική η συζήτηση για τα θέματα εκενώσεως των Ευρωπαίων υπηκόων από το Χαρτούμ, από το Σουδάν. Ήδη υπήρξε σχετική μου συζήτηση χθες με τον Γιώζεφ Μπορέλ και δέχθηκε το αίτημά μου. Από εκεί και πέρα θέλω να ευχαριστήσω τον Γιώζεφ Μπορέλ για τις τεράστιες προσπάθειες που καταβάλει, όπως να ευχαριστήσω την Υπουργό Εξωτερικών της Γαλλίας, την κυρία Κολονά, την Υπουργό Εξωτερικών της Γερμανίας, την κυρία Μπέρμποκ, και της Ιταλίας, τον Αντώνιο Ταγιάννη, για τη βοήθεια που έδωσαν για την εκένωση Ελλήνων υπηκόων από το Χαρτούμ. Θα ήθελα όμως να πω και κάτι άλλο. Είναι κατελάχιστον αντιφατικό να ψηφίζουμε κείμενα όπως η στρατηγική πυξίδα και μάλιστα με θριαμβευτικούς τόνους. Και από εκεί και πέρα να μην μπορούμε σε ευρωπαϊκό επίπεδο, παρά τις προσπάθειες του ύπατου εκπροσώπου, να οργανώσουμε μια πανευρωπαϊκή επιχείρηση εκένωσης. Η Ευρώπη κρίνεται από τη δυνατότητά της να αντιδράσει στις κρίσεις. Και σαν Ευρώπη θέλω να πω ότι στην κρίση στο Σουδάν δεν έχουμε πάρει πολύ καλό βαθμό. Σας ευχαριστώ.
Good morning. It is a very important Foreign Affairs Council today in Luxembourg. For Romania, there are two very important topics. Of course, Ukraine and the support to Ukraine to win the war, but also the Republic of Moldova, because today we will have very important decisions to be taken as far as Republic of Moldova is concerned, the support of the European Union for the Republic of Moldova. The first decision will be the political agreement, which I hope will be reached. I'm confident that will be reached today, on creating a new sanctions regime against those who are acting for destabilizing the country and against the constitutional order of the Republic of Moldova. It is a proposal which I made during the Foreign Affairs Council on the 20th of February, and I'm very glad that in such short period of time this sanctions regime was created. And I think this is the fastest process of creation of a sanctions regime in the history of the European Union. And I'm very glad that this sanctions regime will be a very important tool in order to increase the resilience and security of the Republic of Moldova against the background of the actions which are orchestrated by Russia, such as demonstrations or subversive actions against the constitutional order of the Republic of Moldova, which we have witnessed in the last months. It is very important that this sanctions regime is adopted, because any measure which is taken in order to enhance the security of the Republic of Moldova will be also a measure which will enhance the security of Romania and of its citizens. We are already working together with the authorities of the Republic of Moldova on the first listings after the sanctions regime will be adopted. And these measures, which will include travel bans and freezing of assets for such persons or for entities which are involved in such destabilizing actions, will represent not only a sanction towards these persons, but also will represent a deterrent factor towards other such actions in the future. At the same time, another important decision will be the adoption of the decision to create the civilian mission, a partnership mission for the Republic of Moldova. It is another important measure which Romania has strongly supported, and this will also contribute to enhancing the resilience and the security of the Republic of Moldova, because this will fight against hybrid actions against the Republic of Moldova, against disinformation, against actions which are targeting the cybersecurity of the country, and will also improve the management of crisis situations in the Republic of Moldova. Of course, Romania will support the functioning of this mission, including by proposing experts to take part in the mission. Last but not least, on the Republic of Moldova, I will encourage the continued assistance for the Republic of Moldova under the European Peace Facility. It will be a decision to be taken at the beginning of May in that respect. It is very important that the Republic of Moldova will continue to be on the agenda of the Foreign Affairs Council. I will also reiterate today my proposal to have on the agenda of a future Foreign Affairs Council before summer on protected conflicts in the region of the Black Sea, because it is also important that EU continue to pay attention to this very important issue. On Ukraine, we will of course express today the support of Romania for continuing the support for Ukraine in all dimensions in order for Ukraine to win the war. I will inform today my colleagues about the very good results of two events that we have hosted in Bucharest on the 13th of April. The first Black Sea Security Conference under the aegis of the International Crimea Platform, and the trilateral between Romania, the Republic of Moldova and Ukraine. Both events were targeting security aspects related to the Black Sea region, of course, and how to improve our cooperation in the defense and security area among the three countries. Of course, today we will also discuss the EU action plan against the effects of Russia's war against Ukraine, and in this context I will present the outreach efforts of Romania towards third countries, including in countries in Latin America, during the visits that President Iohannis of Romania is paying these days in three of the Latin American countries in order to counter the Russian narrative. I will also express today, and I'm expressing also now, the strong condemnation of the statements by the Chinese ambassador in Paris, which put under question the sovereignty of states which gained their or regained their independence after the dissolution of the Soviet Union. Such statements are unacceptable and run against the UN Charter. Also today we will discuss about Georgia, and I will welcome the presence here of our colleague, the Foreign Minister of Georgia. I have supported the invitation of him to the Foreign Affairs Council. It is important to discuss how to encourage Georgia to continue the reform process, especially in the rule of law area, in the justice area. And last but not least, very important, we will discuss about Sudan. And I will reiterate the appeal of Romania for an immediate cessation of hostilities and the protection of civilians. And I will plead for a better coordination between the EU member states for the evacuation of European citizens from Sudan. And I am expressing the gratitude of Romania for the French authorities, which have facilitated the evacuation in safety of 9 Romanian citizens and 1 family member last night from Sudan to Djibouti. Thank you so much.
Danes je obletnica parlamentarnih volitev v Sloveniji. Leto je bilo polno izzivov, zagotovo si nismo predstavljali na zunanjem političnem področju, da bomo že več kot leto dni v brutalni vojni, ruski agresiji v Ukrajini, do zdaj zaostrovanja konfliktov v Sudanu. Vmes v tem letu so bili seveda tudi pozitivni premiki, zlasti ko gledam približevanje držav Zahodnega Balkana Evropski uniji, nazadnje dobra novica, tudi odprava vizumov za državljane Kosova. Leto torej polno izzivov, spreminja se naglo svet, geopolitična slika in v tej situaciji se mi zdi ključno, da slovenska politika stoji skupaj pri zunanje političnih vprašanjih. Danes na zasedanju zunanjih ministrov bomo vnovič govorili o vojni v Ukrajini in Slovenija si prizadeva, da najdemo pot za pravičen in trajen mir v Ukrajini čim prej je mogoče. To pomeni tudi vključitev vseh globalnih partnerjev, zlasti imam tu v mislih Kitajsko. O Kitajski bomo danes tudi govorili. Prav tako nas zelo skrbijo razmere v Sudanu, zaostrovanje konfliktov v Sudanu. Prioriteta mora biti čimprejšnja ustavitev konfliktov in pa seveda pomoč civilistom. V Sudanu ostaja še 10 Slovencev oziroma 3 slovenske družine. Svetovali smo jim, da naj ostanejo na varnem in da jim bomo pomagali pri evakuaciji, ko bo to seveda mogoče glede na njihove želje. Gostili bomo tudi gruzijskega zunanjega ministra danes. Mogoče samo še komentar na razmere na Kosovu po včerajšnjih volitvah. Volitve so imele zelo nizko volilno udeležbo, so zakonite, ampak pod vprašaj seveda vprašanje nizke udeležbe postavlja samo legitimnost oziroma kako bojo lahko novoizvoljeni predstavniki res učinkovito vladali. Zdaj smo imeli tudi zajtrk za predsedujoče Svetu Evrope in Islandijo, kjer smo prav tako govorili pred vrhom maja v Reykjaviku voditeljev, kako čim bolj konsolidirati organizacijo Sveta Evrope in pa seveda narediti tudi vse za odgovornost, ko gre za vprašanje na eni strani ruske agresije v Ukrajini in pa seveda odgovornost nasploh pri hudodelstvih in vojnih zločinih. Slovenija v tem kontekstu zelo kmalu gosti pomembno mednarodno konferenco konec maja v Ljubljani, 77 podpisnic, ki bo združila napore za skupen dogovor o sodelovanju pravosodnih sistemov pri pregonu in preiskavah najhujših vojnih zločinov. Hvala.
Außenministerin bleibt im heutigen Treffen fern. Wie stellt sich die Lage aus Ihrer Sicht dar? Wie viele Österreicher sind betroffen?
Also es ist tatsächlich eine humanitäre Katastrophe. Der Sudan erlebt, wenn man so will, ein Tsunami an Krisen. Es droht ein Bürgerkrieg. Ich war jetzt gerade mit meiner deutschen Kollegin Annalena Baerbock in Kontakt und ich habe auch unseren aufrichtigen Dank ausgerichtet. Dank der deutschen Hilfe, dank auch der Franzosen ist es uns gelungen, in den letzten 24 Stunden fast die Hälfte der Österreicher und Österreicherinnen, die noch im Sudan sind, außer Landes zu bringen. Das ist wirklich sozusagen eine gemeinsame internationale Arbeit und ich bin allen Partnern zu Dank verpflichtet. Wir hatten über 50 Österreicherinnen und Österreicher im Land. 27 sind gestern rausgekommen. Die Arbeit geht natürlich weiter. Wir haben unsere Botschaft in Ägypten, unsere Botschaft in Addis Abeba. Wir haben ein eigenes Team nach Djibouti entsandt. Das ist so tatsächlich eine sehr angespannte Lage und wird doch ein großes Thema heute sein. Wir haben ja leider Gottes eine ganze Reihe von Putsch und Gegenputsch von Westafrika und jetzt Sudan zu beobachten. Das ist eine sehr beunruhigende Situation und hat natürlich das Potenzial, die ganze Region mitzureißen.
Die 20 plus Menschen, von denen Sie sagen, Sie sind jetzt noch im Land verblieben, wie geht es mit denen jetzt weiter? Welcher Zeithorizont ist da?
Nun, wir sind mit ihnen laufend und auch im direkten Kontakt. Ich kann sagen, einige versuchen natürlich, sagen wir, nach Port Sudan rauszukommen oder Richtung Ägypten. Die Großteil ist in Khartoum selber. Und es gelingt Gott sei Dank noch, dass Flugzeuge landen können und starten. Ich war auch gestern mit meinem Kollegen aus Saudi-Arabien im Kontakt, weil auch da gibt es eventuell noch Möglichkeiten, dass auf Fliegern von Evakuierungsflügen der Saudis draufkommen. Also das ist ein laufendes Krisenmanagement, das wir leider Gottes ja schon in anderen Fällen kennen, wo wir leider Gottes Erfahrungen haben. Aber die Situation ist wirklich dramatisch im Lande.
Wie stark überlagert dieses Ereignis auch das heutige Treffen? Es gibt ja auch andere wichtige Themen, zum Beispiel die Munition für die Ukraine.
Und wir haben leider Gottes eine ganze Reihe von wichtigen Themen und keines dieser Themen ist wirklich erfreulich. Wenn Sie Ukraine ansprechen, wenn Sie Iran ansprechen, Sudan ansprechen, es ist leider Gottes eine Tendenz, wenn man so will, in den letzten Monaten, dass die Außenministertagungen vor lauter Krisenherden schon teilweise gar nicht mehr wissen, wohin schauen. Das ist leider Gottes etwas, was wir wahrnehmen müssen. Aber ich muss auch dazu sagen, man darf nie verzagen. Wir reagieren und die Europäische Union ist oft resilienter, stärker, geeinter, als man es vielleicht von außen sieht.
Eine andere Sache ist die Äußerung des chinesischen Botschafters in Frankreich, was jetzt die früheren Sowjetrepubliken betrifft. Wie kommentieren Sie das?
Also ich frage mich, ob das wirklich die offizielle chinesische Position ist. Wenn ja, dann wird nur deutlich, dass da doch mehr an Geschichtswissen noch vermittelt werden muss und auch am völkerrechtlichen Wissen, weil China immerhin als Mitglied des UNO-Sicherheitsrates hat er den Beitritt dieser Staaten auch zur UNO gut geheißen und unterstützt. Also ich glaube, da ist vermutlich etwas außer, wenn man so will, außer Kontrolle geraten bei diesem Interview.
Vor einem Monat hat man der Ukraine Munition versprochen. Das kommt jetzt erst sehr zögerlich. Ist das nicht beschämend für die EU?
Also das einen Österreicher zu fragen, wir als neutraler Staat liefern ja kein Kriegsmaterial. Wir helfen dafür umso mehr beim humanitären Bereich. Wir sind nach dem Kieler Institut für Weltwirtschaft sind wir Nummer 1 europaweit, was humanitäre Hilfe für die Ukraine betrifft, sowohl privat als auch öffentlich. Ich glaube, dass man diese Diskussion, die fortlaufende, Munition, Panzer, dann Kampfjets, das überdeckt etwas, wie stark eigentlich die Unterstützung da ist von den Partnern. Sei es eben humanitär wie Österreich, sei es auch mit letalem Material. Also hören wir auf, uns die ganze Zeit klein und schlecht zu reden. In Wirklichkeit haben wir 14 Monate lang jetzt bewiesen, wir sind geeint, wir sind stärker und resilienter, als wir uns selber zutrauen. Und jetzt die nächsten Monate werden sicher sehr schwierig werden, gerade für die Menschen in der Ukraine. Und ich glaube, das ist der wesentliche Punkt, dass wir sie unterstützen. Danke sehr.
Good morning. Could I just say that we're looking forward to going into the Foreign Affairs Council meeting, where we will have a number of substantive discussions on a number of very serious situations. First of all, of course, our focus will be on Sudan and the shocking level of violence and warfare currently happening there, with huge consequences for the people of Sudan and those in need of humanitarian assistance. Of course, we are doing everything we possibly can to secure the release and the evacuation of Irish citizens from Khartoum and from Sudan, along with European Union citizens. And we would like to take the opportunity to thank our French colleagues and Spanish colleagues for already facilitating the evacuation of up to 50 Irish citizens over the last 24 hours from Sudan. And the situation is very fluid, and the Irish government and the emergency civil team are there with our defence forces, working with our European Union colleagues to do everything we possibly can to secure the evacuation of all Irish citizens who are registered with our embassy and who are seeking evacuation for Sudan. It's a strong European Union team effort, and we appreciate the work of the French authorities and the Spanish authorities in particular, who have helped multiple nationalities to evacuate. We'll also discuss the Middle Eastern peace process, and particularly the situation within Palestine, and seek a full inventory along with our Belgian colleagues in terms of all of the agreements and supports that are in place for Israel and indeed for the Palestinian Authority, and to continue to work to de-escalate the situation and the tensions there at the moment. And of course the war in Ukraine will be uppermost in our minds, and again we will be discussing the next steps in respect of keeping the pressure on and supporting the people of Ukraine and their territorial sovereignty and integrity. Thank you very much indeed.
Dobrý den. Co vám můžu říct?
Budete mít nějaké úvodní slovo, prosím, nebo máme se rovnou ptát?
Klidně se ptejte, ale tak já vám jenom povím, o čem dneska budeme mluvit. Dneska začneme Súdánem, protože tam je závažná bezpečnostní situace, probíhají evakuace občanů. Podařilo se nám dostat 2 občany na evakuační let z Německa, už jsou bezpečně na cestě do Berlína nebo v Berlíně, detail nevím. A samozřejmě budeme pokračovat debatou o ruské válce proti Ukrajině. Tak to jsou ty nejdůležitější témata, ke kterým samozřejmě taky budu vystupovat.
Rozumím. Můžete se prosím vyjádřit k tomu, jak se podle vás změnilo vnímání Česka v návaznosti na jeho reakci na válku na Ukrajině? Myslíte si, že se nějak změnilo vnímání Česka v očích?
Se změnilo vnímání Česka nejenom díky té ruské válce proti Ukrajině a naší jasné podpoře pro Ukrajinu a bezpečnost Evropy, ale také i díky českému předsednictví, které v druhé polovině minulého roku zaštiťovalo celou řadu aktivit a měli jsme možnost ukázat, že si to dokážeme odpracovat a má to i konkrétní výsledky. Takže v tuhle chvíli Česko má velmi dobré jméno a já věřím, že se na tom podaří stavět dál.
Mohla bych vás potom ještě poprosit o vyjádření k připravovanému akčnímu plánu? Myslím tomu akčnímu plánu pro geopolitické důsledky ruské agrese na Ukrajině.
Tohle je věc, která je hodně na začátku. Já si myslím, že Evropa se víc posouvá, nebo celý svět se posouvá k tomu, že je více geopolitický zájmy vlivu a snaha například o to získat hlasy při hlasování v OSN, kde je důležité mít spočítáno, kolik zemí podporuje rezoluci odsuzující ruskou agresi proti Ukrajině. A vidíme, že některé země v Evropě, v Jižní Americe, v Asii nepodporují naše stanovisko, náš pohled a je potřeba zahraniční politiku ve všech různých podobách, diplomacii k tomu, aby nás tyto země dokázaly podpořit, aby chápali naše bezpečnostní problémy, ale zároveň my třeba musíme chápat některé jejich potíže a něco jim v vozovkách dát za to. To je ta klasická geopolitika. Takže tento akční plán, jak si z pohledu Evropské unie pracuje na tom samém a myslím si, že jsme úplně na začátku, že je to spíše nějaký diskuzní materiál a máme se ještě jako Evropa hodně co učit.
A když vy zmiňujete, že by se jim mělo něco dát, tak co by to mělo být?
Tak máme nástroje rozvojové pomoci, můžeme uzavírat různá obchodní partnerství, je potřeba s tím také začít pracovat geopoliticky tak, aby ty země rozuměly našim bezpečnostním zájmům.
Děkuji. Já bych se vás ráda zeptala, jak se vyvíjí situace v Súdánu pro zbývající 3 české občany, které se nepodařilo evakuovat.
My jsme s nimi v kontaktu, nebo se pokoušíme být s nimi v kontaktu. Ta situace není úplně jednoduchá, detaily nesdělujeme, nicméně zároveň jsme v kontaktu s partnery, kteří fyzicky provádí tu evakuaci, ať už to je, v tomto případě to bylo Německo, ale jsou to i další evropské země, nebo i Spojené státy, takže se snažíme potom je mít, aby byli zařazeni na ty seznamy do těch evakuačních konvojů nebo letů. Jsou to poměrně citlivé záležitosti, takže komunikujeme to potom, když můžeme potvrdit detailní informace. Takže v tomto stavu to a pracujeme na tom.
Děkuji. A ještě bych se chtěla zeptat na jednu otázku. Jaké by byly nějaké konkrétní 2 věci, které byste doufala, že se podaří dosáhnout na dnešním jednání?
Konkrétní 2 věci na dnešním jednání. Tak já věřím, že co se týče agrese, my schválíme celou řadu sankcí, ať už jde o Sýrii nebo o Irán a musíme se bavit také o dalším pokračování sankcí vůči Rusku.
Dobře, a to je jedna věc a máte nějakou druhou?
Víte co, já si myslím, že to není o dosahování konkrétních věcí na jednání FAC, na radě jako takové, a tady spíš v debatě posouváme ty úkoly pro celý aparát. Takže děkuji.
Thank you.